Yo, what's up guys? This is the second video of the close-up series. This is the FF Lite this time. Last video we did the Solar P1 3.0. I was getting rid of that, so I made a close-up video of that before I got rid of it. Now we're doing the Solar FF Lite. Someone's picking this up, I think tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's not too bad, but that's gonna be tomorrow. And so this one, unlike the P1 3.0, it's actually in really good shape. I got this less than 2 months ago. I'm getting rid of it because I got the Solar FF 2.0 coming in Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then I have the Hyperion next. I'm probably gonna film that as well. Someone's gonna buy that one as well. But this one, again, perfect shape, no scratches or anything like that. I just cleaned off the entire thing, the frame, so it's really clean as well. But if you guys watched the last video, I was talking about like the P1 3.0 having like the headlights wobbling up and down. This is what I'm talking about with the FF Lite. Like, you see how, well, it's not over here, it's a little bit higher up, so it's about halfway through, but this one is like, it's not gonna move, right? So you don't gotta worry about this thing going up and down. So it's actually really solid, and the position's really great as well. And there's also two different light settings as well. It's not just on and off. There's like high beam, low beam. So that's really cool as well. And then obviously this is gonna be the horn. And then in order to like fold this thing down, it is gonna be a little bit different. Like the P1 3.0 had like the lever here, and then you press the lever and this thing folds down. This one, you are gonna have to like screw in and out. And I was concerned that I thought like maybe it might come loose or something like that, but so far I haven't had any issues like that. You basically just scroll this thing pops out, and this thing does fold down. So that's that as well. And then we got hydraulic disc brakes on this one, which is really nice, unlike the P1 3.0. So the FF Lite has hydraulic disc brakes. It's the nut brakes. It's the same one as the one on the Hyperion. It's the same brand, works really good. And then I recently adjusted these as well, so the positioning of that is great as well. And same thing on the back here as well. The one thing, obviously this also, it doesn't have the same issue as the P1 3.0 with the headlight tail light coming off. This thing, it is on here secure. The only thing is like, this fender is most likely just to like prevent splashback back here. Like obviously it'll prevent like this part from getting dirty, but if you're riding in the rain, you're actually gonna have to buy like the fender adjuster. I mean, not the extended fender though, that's what I meant. The thing goes on here somehow, and then like it actually goes back here. That's if you actually want to protect from the rain, that's what you would have to get. This does not block rain. Like if you ride this in the rain, your back is gonna get wet. So yeah, that is the one problem with getting the extender though, is you can't do wheelies. If that's something you're into, you're not gonna be able to do that. But that's gonna be for that. One thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but before I bought this, I was like, why did they make it so that the light is like blocked by this thing? And like theoretically it looks like that, but the thing is, I don't know why, once this thing turns on, you can actually see it from when you're looking back as well, because you're actually looking down on it anyways. So because of the angle that you're looking at, this light is actually fully visible. So that was like one concern I had. That's not something you actually have to worry about. And obviously I opened this deck up just to show you guys in the video as well. But we got like a controller in here, and then we got the battery. I think this is like 23.4 amp hours. I think the P1 3.0 was like 18 something. So this one's definitely a lot more than that. This is 60-volt battery as well. And you got all these wires in here. And then that controller as well, covered by all these wires. And then that's that. The damper is going to be right here. The one thing you got to worry about with this is that sometimes the screws will get loose over time, so just like every once in a while you just got to make sure that the screws are all tightened up, because if you don't check them, maybe after like, I don't know, it's not something you got to do every single ride, but you want to make sure that the screws are in, so that because a lot of pressure is put on this steering damper obviously. And then you can actually adjust this as well. When you turn it clockwise, it makes it loose, and then if you turn it this way, it makes it really hard to steer. Overall, the steering, it is really stiff. It's a lot more stiffer than like the Hyperion and the P1 3.0, because those don't have dampers obviously. But even with the weakest setting, the steering is still really stiff. And obviously I know I guess it depends on the person. Some people like stiffer damping, especially when it comes to higher speeds. So if that's what you'd like, then this one definitely has stiffer steering. But I guess if you're just, to be honest, you kind of need it to be stiff, because if it wasn't stiff, then you would be wobbling all over the place. It definitely not as stable as the P1 3.0. I haven't crashed on this thing obviously, but it's not as stable, obviously. Uh, but I mean, I feel like all scooters are like this anyways, but yeah, that's gonna be the damper for this. And then obviously everything's squeaky clean. I cleaned the whole frame. It's really clean. There's like no dirt on this thing. But you got these are just normal integrated shocks, not integrated suspension. They're not shocks actually. And then the one thing with this is that the height is not adjustable on this. The P1 3.0, it is adjustable, but on the FF Lite and the Hyperion, you can't adjust the height. I wouldn't say that's a problem, because on the Hyperion, it might be a problem because that thing is really big. I think the height is 55 inches. If you're like a girl or you're shorter or something, or even for like me, if I'm walking in through the hallways, it's really tall. So like it gets in the way of things, you know what I mean? Like this one, it's not as high. I think this is about 50 inches. So it's a little bit shorter than the Hyperion. It's actually significantly shorter than the Hyperion. But obviously you can't make it any lower than this. I don't see why you would have to make it shorter, because it's not like there's a seat on here, but that's going to be that. And then the one thing I like about this is that these aren't Tron lights. Initially, I was going to get the P1 Pro just because of the fact that it has Tron lights instead, but I think these orange lights look really good. And I'll show you guys the other thing as well. So this is the same display as the P1 Pro. I have the NFC tag somewhere in here, but so you can bypass like the password thing. Maybe if you grab this thing, there you go. That's the thing that turns it on. And then obviously this is like front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, gear 1, 2, 3, and then this is just gonna change like oh shit, wrong button. This is gonna change like the trip, and you can change it to like odometer, stuff like that, time. And then this is gonna be Eco Pro, Comfort, and then Sport. I don't know if that actually does anything, but that's that. And then this one actually comes with turning signals, unlike the P1 3.0. It has front and back steering. Fucking, you see how bright it is? Like you can see the reflection. This thing is bright. It's like right there. And then on the back, it's right here as well. It's really visible, and it's really bright as well. Like the lights are on in this room, and you can literally see it reflecting off the back, so it is very visible as well. And then you obviously got the horn on here, and then you got the headlights as well. And then this is what I mean, like this thing doesn't wobble up and down, so you don't have the issue of it pointing to the ground or like pointing up into the trees. Like it's in the perfect position. And then it has like there's like a button up here, so this is how you adjust highlight versus low light. So this is low beams, and then this is high beams. It's not like, you can't really tell like here, but when you're riding on the road, like it actually makes a difference, like high beam, low beam. And then obviously these hydraulic brakes as well. And then these are really good orange lights. At first I was like, these kind of look ugly. That's what I thought when I was looking on the website. I thought, I'd rather have the Tron lights that are on like the P1 Pro. I actually, now seeing this in real life, these actually look really good, because the P1 Pro, I mean the Tron lights, it's like they light up, but like they're not gonna illuminate around it, right? Like they'll illuminate, like you can look at the Tron lights and you'll see the light coming off of it, but it doesn't like illuminate the area around it. This one, it's literally a light that lights up the entire area around it. So like right now the lights are on, but if you turn the lights off, like these lights will illuminate the surroundings. So if you're riding around at night, this one's definitely gonna stand out a lot more. And like you see this, the lights are off right now. All of this light right here is from this thing. These are crazy bright. Like on the Hyperion, you're not gonna have this kind of lighting. Like it's so bright. This actually looks really, really cool. And then again, like the tail light, you can see it completely fine looking at it from the back, so you actually don't have that issue with the angle of the lights. But I think, I'm not sure if these are the same exact lights found on the Solar EQ. I think they are the same kind of lights. So if that is the case, if you're gonna ever get the P1 3.0, definitely get the solar EQ, just because these lights look a lot better than the Tron lights, I think. I mean, to be honest, it depends. The Hyperion does look really good, so I think they're all really good, but definitely, don't think that this one is gonna be ugly, because it is not. This one lights up really good. And then obviously I got the battery right here and all that. So I think that's pretty much it. Like, this scooter is squeaky clean. I cleaned it up before I was gonna give it away, because I think that's the nice thing to do. So this thing is really clean. Everything works perfectly well. And if you give a quick test. So that's that. Yes, I think it goes up to about 59 miles an hour with the wheels off the ground. I found it easily goes over 40 miles an hour, at least for my weight. But that's that. I'm going to close up this deck, and I think that's about it, yeah. Next up is going to be the Hyperion. After the Hyperion, it's going to be the Solar FF 2.0. So it should be coming out in the next few days. We'll see.